I voted for the bill twice. I never introduced the bill. I don't think it has some of the harmful effects that people say it does. Keep in mind, those people are all going to be over 21 years old. They will all have had a security check and a pretty decent one, and some minimal amount of training. They can carry those guns on campus now, but not in buildings. So how much of a difference does it make intrinsically? Not that much. I think that since we know that bill is going to be introduced, it's passed the Senate twice, I think it would be useful for the universities to weigh in, and not just with objections or approval in the case of the Student Senate at Texas A&M, but talk about what their concerns are if it does pass and it becomes law, and we ought to listen.
Yeah. So acknowledge I'm a TSRA endorsed guy. I'm a gun owner, a hunter, and I value the Second Amendment rights and the history behind that, the true history behind that. And we haven't had someone file a bill in the House chamber yet, but as mentioned, Senator Birdwell has filed it in the Senate. In reading the bill, which I have, it's interesting that the bill itself places off limits hospitals on university campuses and preschools, elementary schools, and secondary schools on university campuses. So it's interesting that the bill itself has exceptions, and it has also exceptions for dormitory storage, and it creates an exception for private universities can make rules and regulations regarding the concealed handgun carry. So for me, my sense is I'm not sure that there's a need for a one-size-fits-all on this issue. It seems to me that this issue might lend itself better for a board of regents or board of trustees in the community college to have a discussion about a particular region or a particular community or a particular institution, what the majority in those places want to have. What type of place do they want to have? I mean, the bill calls for taking hospitals and preschools and elementary off limits. Well, because of the Newtown, Connecticut incident, tragedy, we're having a big, broad discussion about having guns on campuses of elementary schools, right? And K through 12 institutions. So for me, this is a very emotional issue that people have those reasoned arguments on either side about safety and about liberty and rights. And so to me, the issue should be best settled by, does a UT Board of Regents, what do they think about institutions under their purview? What does a Board of Trustees in a community college system, what do they think? Like Alamo College in San Antonio has a lot of institutions, Dallas Community College District in mind, a lot of campuses within their system. They may want to have a different policy for different campuses within their system because the community and the location and the students there may have a different feel. This also may give us an opportunity to have sort of laboratories out there and develop better best practices, better policies in relation to safety on campus. Obviously, we just had an incident this week, in the last 2 days on the Lone Star campus. We're still trying to get all the facts on that. I think we have the gun and one of the accomplices in the incident is still being under investigation. They're doing a search for him. So I think this is an issue that needs to be dealt with. I just think that maybe the better approach is to deal with it on an institution by institution basis.